Physics Nobel Prize and retire. Hey, if Star Trek says we can teach quantum physics, then who else is going to argue, right?
Well, I'd like to say that the two Satins classmen were physics majors, but they were, writers. But it shows you the Kent State grads, get places. So I think that's nice too.
And we also have ownership over Third Rock from the Sun. Did you know that? Do you know that? Yeah. Third Rock from the Sun guys sat in my classroom 2 years before. They were the writers and producers of Third Rock from the Sun, a show about 4 alien creatures that came down Earth, take on human form. You know the college they went to, Pendleton? It was Kent State University because they were from Kent State, basically. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
So yeah, we do have some Hollywood links out there, which is always fun.
Can't think of too much more here.
Are there any questions about, physics or Star Trek is out there? Yeah, some of the things how they operate on Star Trek, and we could look at, what the science and the fiction are behind it. We talked about the transporters. We talked about the warp engines. Anything else?
Actually, you have a hand up?
Also, hands on the left here, John.
There you go.
Oh.
That's one of my students.
Phasers, when are we going to get those?
Nature bends space-time. We can't, exactly. We can't control it. We can't do it very much.
In a sense you are, because
we can do it, but we can't do it very much. But let's say we can. What happens if I take this piece of plastic and I bend it into a shape like this? There's point A, there's point B, there's the distance I need to travel, but instead of traveling along here, I skip across to here. I've now shortened the distance rather than increased my speed. And what I'm doing there is, what? Warping space. And this is what they talk about with warp factor 1 and warp factor 2. You are warping space. In the Dune series, they talk about folding space. It's the same thing. So this is one of the ways that in science fiction, they talk about moving faster than light. Rather than getting your ship to go faster, you get the distance to be shorter. And you just take a shortcut. Now, can we do that? No.
This conjures up problems with time travel. Click, click, click.
Yes.
I mentioned to you that time slows down. You and I, every single one of us in the room right now, have gone ahead in time. Oh yeah, we do it all the time. When you move, you go ahead in time. We can do it. We can go ahead. You can't go back in time. The best proof that you cannot go back in time is that most of you agree there's some sort of infinite future ahead, even though we won't be there. Despite Terminator 2, 3, 1, and all the good, and I like really good time travel movies, nobody from the infinite future has come back. That's one good proof. The other thing is it would screw things up royally with the physical universe in which we live. But you can look back in time. You're going to do it tonight when we watch this movie. That's looking back in time, basically. When you watch a video, when you go out and look at the moon. When you go out and look at that moon floating across the sky, you're not looking at it instantly. You're looking at it as it was a second and a quarter ago, or something like that. No, sun, you're looking at it as it was 8 minutes ago. Nearest galaxy to us of any size, Andromeda, is 2 billion light years away at the speed of light. When you see a photograph of that, you're looking at that galaxy when the light started, when we were starting coming out of the trees, basically. Well, however you want evolution, whatever, basically. But that's a problem. We can't really go back in time physically. We can go ahead of time, as I said.
And the problem, of course, is if you're moving faster than light, you are kind of going back in time, and it can cause various paradoxes and things. But again, this deals with actually the third thing that science fiction does to get past some of these scientific problems, which is they just ignore it, and that oftentimes is the case. And Star Trek does do that at times, but that's sort of the cheapest way of getting around it.
What? Yes. We want to show you something, and we'll kind of actually, we could ask a couple if anybody has any specific questions, but let's first do this. You talked about quantum mechanics, talked about relativity very briefly, some terminology, some just real quick ideas there. We have a video here. Now, I'm going to show you this video. It's from the Star Trek series Voyager. When you see it, Captain Janeway, the commander, will be on the command deck talking to her major staff officers, okay? And you want to listen real close to this because there are two things you want to check on. One, pay attention to the scientific reality process.